Hi. Well, what I want to talk about today is attachment. Somebody said to me recently, "What's so bad about attachment?" Well, you see, time is an illusion. I think I've already mentioned this in one of my other videos. In the sense that you think that this house, or at least I think this house, will be here forever, or that this land will be here forever, or that this planet will be here forever. Okay? So, therefore, when something happens, like an asteroid falling from the sky, or some other terrible disaster, and I lose my house, and I lose my land, and there's nothing but a huge smoking crater, I'm going to have suffering if I attach myself to this land. And how do we attach ourselves? By making something part of us. Okay, now, I haven't attached myself to this land, okay, because I'm awakened. But plenty of people have attached themselves to the land, to their house, and to their car, and to other things. So why do we do this? Why do we attach ourselves to other things outside of ourselves? Okay? And the answer to that is because it helps us prop up our fake identity. Okay? Our fake identity, or as many people call it, our ego, has this thing where it has to make itself feel better about itself. Okay? And that is where it uses attachment to do this. For instance, if you don't feel good about yourself because of whatever reason, you buy a fancy car and then you start to feel better. Or if you don't feel good about yourself because of whatever reason, you buy a fancy house so you can feel better. And then you attach yourself to that house. So that house is part of you. It becomes part of your ego and helps boost up your ego so you can feel better about yourself. So that's why we attach things to ourselves. And that would be great, except there's only one problem. Your ego, or fake identity, as I like to refer to it, isn't real. It's fake. And no matter how much we attach things to ourselves, it's not going to keep us make us feel better, okay? Because it's all fake, okay? And you can't be made to feel better through fakeness. It just doesn't work that way. The only way you can be made to feel better is through love, joy, happiness, peace, which you can only access through the formless dimension, which is part of you. Okay? So, now, we may think, oh, I'm not attached to anything. But what about your mom? I was attached to my mom and my dad for a long time. Okay? And then eventually one day I grew up and said, they don't know anything. And I detached myself to them. But then I attached myself to someone else, my first wife. And so on and so forth. Okay? So we can attach ourselves not only to things, but to people. If you're feeling bad about yourself, okay, you marry a trophy wife, which you've attached yourself to. And that makes you feel better because you can take your trophy wife and show her off to everyone. And they're all like, oh, wow, look at that great wife. I wish I had a great wife like that. And they make other people feel bad, which makes you feel good. Okay? It's really a sick circle. Okay? So, the point of all this is to stop attaching yourself to things and people. Okay? Because why? Because it eventually makes you unhappy. When your mom dies, which she's going to, and your dad dies, which she's going to, okay, then you're going to feel terrible because you've attached yourself to that person, okay? My mom died, and my dad died, and at the time I wasn't awakened, so I felt terrible, okay? And the same thing with everything else. You attach yourself to your car, and then suddenly you total the car, and you have no car anymore, and you feel terrible. You feel let down. You feel depressed. Okay? And let's say that you're a writer, and you attach yourself to your books, to your fiction, or your nonfiction, whatever it is. And then somebody comes along and says, "This is crap." Excuse my language. Okay? And then you feel bad. The only way to not feel bad is to not attach things to yourself. Because you are not a person. That's the other thing you attach to yourself. Your personhood. Okay, I'm such and such, and I have such and such title, and I am a great person, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're not. You're not a person at all. Okay? And neither am I. Because we are souls. That is the part of us that really exists. Everything else is just a construct. Okay? So if you have attached these things to yourself, let's not forget about thoughts. Because we attach ourselves to those all the time. Okay? Now, for instance, I think the Republican Party is great, and I think that the Democratic Party is a demon, or whatever you want to say. We attach ourselves to that, and we stick to it no matter what. And when it's proven that the Republican Party are just people who maybe made a mistake along the way, and the Democrats are just people too, then you're going to feel bad, okay? Or you have a position and you attach yourself to that, okay? Maybe your position is the world is ending, global warming is killing us all, blah, 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 okay? Now, whether or not that's true, and I'm sure it is, the position is what you're attaching yourself to. And let's say in 10 years, suddenly the world starts cooling down because of whatever, okay? You're going to feel really bad. So what we want to try and do is not attach ourselves to things, okay? Now, you can still have a car and a house and land and a wife and a mom and a dad and all your brothers and sisters. But don't make them a part of you, okay? That's what attachment is, and it really can be a bummer. So don't attach yourself to people, things, thoughts, emotions, so on and so forth. Now, you all know I love you because you're me, right? And as me, you are part of this universe, just like I am. And every other living thing is a part of this universe. And not just a part of this universe, but a part of the cosmic consciousness, okay? The cosmic consciousness is one thing, and that's what we're part of. We're all part of that. So therefore, we're all the same thing. And you can say, oh, I hate black people, or oh, I don't like Mexicans, or oh, I don't like Italians, or whatever. But you know what? They are you. Okay? Whatever the color of their skin, or the way they act, or what they say, they're still you. Okay? And by saying, I don't like a certain type of people, you're attaching that to yourself. You're making you something you're not. This whole attachment stuff is very complex, and it's very difficult to try and understand, but once you do understand that you're making yourself unhappy by your attachments, for instance, if you attach yourself to your face, okay, and I have a nice face, isn't it nice? One day, it's not going to be nice. One day, it's going to be all wrinkly, and stuff's going to be falling off of it. There'll be big spots everywhere. There already are some spots here and there, okay? So, everything that you think you are is really an attachment. Your body, you're attached to it because you think that's you. You think this hand is part of you. It's part of me, but anyway, the point is, and when that hand starts to wither and die and you can start to see bones underneath, see the bones? Okay? You're going to look at it and you go, oh, that's weird. I used to have fat right there. Now the fat's gone and I can see the bones. Okay? Because you're dying. You grow up, you're a kid, you reach the age of 21, maybe 25, and then you start dying. Okay? And to imagine that that's not the case is just a path to the dark side. Okay? And what's the dark side? Well, it's unhappiness. Okay? And I'm not trying to make anybody out to be bad. Okay? Everybody is as good as everybody else. Okay? But if you are full of these attachments, okay, then you are going to be unhappy because you know what? The world is changing. And so is everything else. Okay? If you're an astronomer and you attach yourself to a comet that's whirling around, the world, or whirling around the solar system, and suddenly some asteroid hits it, now it's blown to pieces, it's not there anymore, you're going to feel bad. Okay? Anyway, I guess that's all I have to say. So let the attachments go. Let these things go. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but it's worth it. Okay? I love you all. And I'm not attached to any of you. So that's a good thing, right? Right. Well, y'all have a great life. Remember, you are not you. Okay? You're not you. The more you think that you're you, the more you think that you're a person, the unhappier you're going to be. Okay? Recognize that. Okay? And that's your first step to freedom. Freedom from unhappiness. Freedom from feeling bad about your aging body. Freedom from feeling bad about what's going on in the world. If you don't attach yourself to things in the world, then you can't feel bad when things don't go right. Okay? Look at all the Republicans. They're so unhappy because they lost the Senate. Ooh, okay? And so happy because they gained the Congress. Well, so what? Okay? They've attached themselves to those things. Okay? What is the Senate? Well, it's 100 angry men and women. Okay? And the Congress is 200-some angry men and women. That's what it is. Okay? There's nothing more important to it than that. And if we continue to attach these things to ourselves, then we're going to continue to feel unhappy. All right, I guess that's it. I've been talking too long. Sorry about that. All right, well, you all have a great life, as I said, and I love you.